Hello and welcome to the Chase Aerospace Gaming channel. So as many of you know, CitizenCon happened this past weekend and it was fantastic. Some people didn't really like it all that much, but I liked it, especially the sandworm. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put it up right now, so congratulations, you've just seen it. There was one thing that's got a few people riled up, but I'm here to tell you it's just in the dev toolkit. It's not an actual mechanic in the game. And it never should be. I can't say it never will be because I'm not the developers. I don't have that kind of authority. But it never should be. And I really don't think it would ever make it into the game. But towards the end of the presentation, some of the devs were showing off how quickly they can edit a planet and develop it. This was mostly done just to prove, hey, I know we've got a lot of systems to do, and we've said that we're going to be able to have direct artist input, and they're not all going to be procedurally generated like No Man's Sky. But don't worry, we can develop it fast enough to get the game out in a reasonable time, and this is how we're going to do it. So it was basically just demonstrating the speed at which they can develop to kind of put some uneasiness about the time frame of development at rest. Plus it was fun to watch, so I think it was totally appropriate for the demo. But then again, I'm a nerd, so I kind of enjoy that kind of thing. There probably were plenty of people who just didn't care about it, but I was not one of those people. Anyways, in the middle of this demo, they jumped right into the game from the development menu, which they were bragging about. This technology is great, we can just jump right into the game without having to restart some other executable file and stop developing. Which is admittedly pretty awesome. But they get in a ship that they had just spawned in onto a landing pad that they just spawned in on top of a lake that they just created in the middle of a mountain range that they just created in like, I don't know, like 60 seconds. it was probably longer than that, more like 2 or 3 minutes. But they jump in their ship and they fly around for a little bit showing off what they just made, and then they quantum jump from within the atmosphere of the planet to another planet on the horizon. And what I wanted to talk about, since I have an aerospace engineering background, I kind of picked up on this, like, wait, hold on a second, this isn't right. This can't be right. Because, well, let's think about it. Quantum jumping in Star Citizen places you at a speed of about 0.2 times the speed of light. In space, I can understand this. I mean, you're going to hit a rock and your ship's going to explode. But in the atmosphere, you can't do this. I mean, you could possibly, but the drag force would be so insane. To put this in perspective, when a typical space shuttle re-enters the atmosphere, it's going at about 7,800 meters per second. But 0.2 times the speed of light is about 60 million meters per second. So when a space shuttle re-enters the atmosphere, it's going Mach 25, or a little less than Mach 25. And I mean, you've seen the movies where something's gone wrong, they're about to re-enter the atmosphere, and all the astronauts are freaking out. We're gonna burn up, the heat shielding's gone, we're all gonna die. And these are valid concerns, because when you're going that fast and you hit atmosphere, when you hit particles, which at that speed, I mean, the friction, the drag force is insane. And that's just at 7,800 meters per second. So they should be concerned they're going to burn up and die. And now you've got a ship going 60 million meters per second in the atmosphere. I mean, that's insane. I don't really even have a word to describe it, because Mach 25, your typical reentry speed, that's considered hyper Mach. That's considered really ridiculously fast for atmospheric flight, and I haven't heard any terminology to describe the range of speeds that exist beyond that, because it's just not considered for atmospheric flight. For good reason, because drag force is squarely proportional to the velocity. So let's say I'm going 20 miles per hour, and then depending on the drag coefficient, the drag force is like like 30 pounds. All right, 20 miles per hour, 30 pounds. But if I increase to 30 miles per hour, then that's going to increase my drag force by a factor of 2.25. So I'm going to be looking at 67.5 pounds of drag force just from increasing my velocity by 10 miles per hour in this particular example. Going from 7,800 meters per second, ripping a space shuttle apart potentially if it's not shielded properly, and then ramping that up to 60 million meters per second in atmosphere. That's just humorous. I mean, it's in the realm of absolute insanity. So I thought I would share this perspective with you guys. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, or you probably thought if you watched the demonstration that it's a little weird that you're able to jump from planet to planet going that fast. And this is why it's weird. You were correct in assuming that it was weird, because it is. So I just wanted to share this perspective with you guys. I hope you thought it was interesting. If you did, leave a thumbs up. And maybe share it around with your friends who also thought it was weird, because I thought it was pretty interesting. Maybe I'm just an aerospace nerd. But, like I said, if you liked the video, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.